Hi, everybody.
Hey, this is Homes at Home. We're back again. We're talking about all the different things we're doing around our house, the projects that we've started, and hopefully it will inspire some of you to start some projects, fix some projects, and keep going on the projects.
Yeah, make your house prettier.
Yeah, I mean,
Zhuzh it up.
yeah, we have a lot of time to do that right now, so might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, so this week we're excited to share with you a little bit about what we've been doing in our backyard. Last week we discussed gardens, and there's been a little bit of halt on our end with the gardens. We're just waiting for some deliveries for some 3/4
clear.
Oh, I almost had the full word.
Sorry,
to sound like an expert.
Yeah.
3/4 clear, everyone knows what that is.
Yeah, for drainage. So we want that at the bottom of the bed of the
right.
nice garden.
So we're just waiting on that to be delivered, and then we'll be able to, send you updates on the garden. But this week we're excited to share with you our before and after pergola installation, and actually full on deck, which we did like last year.
Yeah. Now the problem is with some of my projects, or some of our projects, I should say, is that I get so excited that I don't actually take before photos. And I know you think like, okay, you're in television, you should be used to this. You're right. However, I still forget.
Yeah.
I get just going in the project and just forget. So we don't have, unfortunately, a full before photo of the deck that we could find at least. So we have an old photo of the existing pergola, but the problem with the deck, so that's the
that was the old pergola.
Sorry, yes.
That's the old pergola. You could see that there's paint on it. It was chipping. It was rotting essentially from the ground up because whoever built it actually built the whole deck slab on grade.
Close.
Oh.
I mean, you have the right idea. So the deck itself was actually built directly on the grade.
On the grade, yeah.
So what happens when you put wood directly on the soil is it just acts like a wick and just sucks up the moisture from the soil, and then it rots the wood really quick. So pretty much when we bought this house, again, for anyone tuning in that didn't see last week's, we own a house that was built in 1874. So old house.
Poorly renovated ever since.
And poorly renovated. But
doesn't
luckily,
even look old.
It doesn't. But we have the right people for the job now. So this old deck was completely rotted out. So we ripped it up, built this new deck, elevated off the ground a little bit, new pergola. So we can show you a picture here of the new pergola that we've done.
There it is. There she is. So it's actually not complete. And yes. Okay, but we added the plastic coverings.
Yeah.
So when Michael originally built the deck and the pergola, there it is.
There's our apple tree.
Yeah, our apple tree coming in strong.
It's a little bare right now.
Yeah, seasonal.
Yeah.
However, so when Michael first fixed up our deck for us, the reason we chose it as a top priority is because when the wood was on the ground there, and like Michael said, there was a lot of moisture, it was really dangerous because if you stepped and the board would move, but the nail would stick up. So I stubbed my toe. I know Keiko stepped on, probably hurt his little paws on all the boards moving like this. So then when he redid it, we installed the pergola again, but we didn't have that plastic sheathing. Is it sheathing? Would you call it?
Yeah, it's a corrugated plastic sheathing essentially.
Right. So we left it open originally for like a full year without covering it. And it kind of like, it's aesthetically pleasing, but it was functionless, until we hang our twinkle lights and our flower pots. It's really kind of just not doing much. So I thought, okay, it could be really fun for us to cover it up. So even when it is raining, we could still enjoy a nice afternoon lunch on the deck, just underneath. Or one day I even want to put a swing out there so that we could swing and we would still be dry even if it is raining. So we tried to weatherproof it. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. So the thing is, once I started installing the corrugated plastic sheets, I got up there and realized that the old Eaves Trough, it was like this old plastic Eaves Trough that was like, it was pretty much a roller coaster. So you can see it there, and that doesn't give it justice. There were so many dips. It was like, it would leak water everywhere. There's a drip edge. It's a sheet metal drip edge that is created that goes underneath your shingles, and it's supposed to help drip water and drive water into your Eaves Trough. It wasn't even doing that. So we had to install new Eaves Trough. Now the water is directed where it should go, which is
away from the house.
I'm
learning.
You're so good.
Much. I'm like an expert eavesdropper.
Yeah, you're just an expert at everything.
There you go. But yeah, so it has been a lot of projects that you start one thing and then you end up doing another thing before finishing the thing you started. Michael's come in a little frustrated a couple of times last week. However, it looks really great, honey.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tough because when you have an old home, or I guess when you have a home, you start one thing and then you're like, you look at it and like, for example, looking at the Eaves Trough, I'm like, I can't put on the corrugated plastic sheets and leave this Eaves Trough. So I had to place an online order. I had to go pick it up, bring it back.
Make it right.
Whoever said that is very
smart
wise.
man.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that, just make it right the first time. You know?
Yeah.
I want that guy's autograph, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to meet him one day.
Oh, it's too good. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. Do you have a pergola on your property? What's your back deck looking like?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we went on Pinterest again. Well, okay, so we built the deck out of stone, sorry.
Not the deck. The deck is not built out of stone.
No, the garden stone. However, when we were building the deck again, Michael's like, hey, get inspiration. What do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And again, mine was all stone saves
carpenter
on Pinterest, but I did marry a carpenter. So the whole deck is wood.
Yes.
It is a wood deck.
That is correct.
And we have some unfinished stairs that still need to go in. So that will probably happen.
It'll happen soon. Okay, here's the thing.
You tell me when.
There's an order of operations because we have to finish the gardens first. And when we finish the garden and the landscape around the gardens, then I can finish the stone step and the wood step that goes on top of that stone pad in front of the deck, finish the railing. So we're almost there. We're like 90% done the deck area.
Can't wait. Susie says, not a deck question, but what type of wood would you guys suggest for making raised vegetable garden beds? I'm hearing pressure treated is not good. So I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. Some people may say that the newer technology of pressure treated wood is okay, but
I've read that the newer pressure treated leaches a lot less chemicals. It's almost you almost can't test it. There's very small doses that are left into the actual vegetables itself. However, I would just steer away from that. Use cedar if you're going to use wood, or like us, we went and we thought ahead. We're thinking, okay, I don't want to have to replace this in 10 years. I don't want to have to replace this in 5 years. So we just went stone. So just take your time, plan ahead on what materials you should use. And again, I would recommend using cedar if you do go with the wood direction.
Yeah. So definitely leave us your questions. We're here. We're excited to share with you more of what we've been working on. We're learning along the way. Like Michael said, he started one project and then it kind of morphed into another one. Hey, Andrea. Teresa says, our deck is inlaid stone blocks.
Oh.
You and your dad did a deck like ours on one of our shows.
Yeah, like a Paver Deck.
One of your shows.
Yeah. Paver Deck. Yeah, it's great. I mean, then it's zero maintenance. The thing with us is at the time, we had to finish this deck as soon as possible. So
time was of the essence.
Time was of the essence. So we had wood. And at the time, we didn't want to have the expense of adding an all stone deck. And because I had a lift of wood in my shop, I'm like, well, looks like we're building wood.
Put it to use.
Yeah. What is the best product to coat a wooden deck for a non-slip surface? Keith Pope. That's a great question, Keith. I know there's some coatings out there. I don't have the names off the top of my head with granules in them so that you won't slip when you're stepping on them. But make sure just to keep your deck clean, whether there's leaves, if it snows, shovel the snow off. That way it's more anti-slip. Yeah,
and as you saw in the photos, we have an apple tree that actually is growing through. So we built the deck, the original deck that we tore up because it was the wood on grade. Mm-hmm. It was built around the apple tree. And I actually really liked that concept. It was really romantic. Mm-hmm. So we actually built the new deck all around this apple tree. However, the apple tree does get really messy. So a tip for that non-slip, make sure you sweep. So if you have an apple tree or, our apples fall and then the bees come in. So it is a bit of a higher maintenance setting your deck around an apple tree, but it is so romantic. And we'll have twinkle lights going up in the tree. Yeah. And then you can even make your own apples. Jam.
You make jam, apple cider, apple sauce. But Lisa Marie, she has to actually paint the pergola.
I do. So it's still not complete yet. We will probably send updated photos in the next couple of weeks because the paint that I'm using is from the Lisa Marie Holmes collection in collaboration with Fusion Mineral Paint. Mm-hmm. So we have 5 colors under the Lisa Marie Holmes collection. They're all earth inspired, nice neutrals. So I'm excited, but that paint requires a temperature of about 10 degrees or higher in order to paint it. And I don't know about you or where you all are living, but we had snow again this weekend in Ontario, and we had an inch of snow on the ground. So we are waiting before we can actually apply the paint, because if you paint in cold weather, the application's really poor and it gets really sticky and gummy, and it doesn't spread very nicely.
Yeah, and it doesn't adhere properly. So
Yes.
We're tired of this crappy weather, so please
send us some sun.
Send us some sun if you're in sun. Bill Marchington asks, hi, how high off the ground do you think a raised vegetable garden should be? 12 inches or 24 inches? So really, it's personal preference, Bill. It depends what you are growing as well. I have to slow myself down here because some of the root bases need more room to grow. You should also build in some drainage in there, so some 3/4 clear or something, so to allow the water to drain, so it doesn't just sit and rot those roots away. For us, we went with about, I think, a 30 inch.
Yeah, because it also depends on your personal preference of like, do you want to be on your hands and knees in the garden, or is it something that's, maybe you have a back shoulder problem.
Yeah, you don't want to bend over as much. You want to
be.
So we went a little higher because, again, thinking, when we're older, we certainly don't want to be bending over picking vegetables. It'll be a lot easier when it's higher.
Yeah. Hi, Dave. Thank you so much. He says that we're awesome.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Mark, someone asked about raised beds. I just ordered the fabric pop-up one. Have you ever used these?
I will be honest, Mark. I've never even heard of that. Fabric pop-up. Can't speak today. Maybe it's the hair. All his hair is just clouding up my brain. It looks like I'm wearing a helmet.
Yeah, it's because he's wearing a helmet on his head.
Yeah.
He can't think. It's too tight on his head. Okay, so Lona said we got snow too. Yeah, the snow, it's May. And the expression is April showers bring May flowers. And we still have snow in May, so I am really antsy.
Yeah, what's that going to bring?
June flowers, I guess. Yeah. I mean, my daffodils have finally popped up, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Bridget asks, if the pitch of my roof is getting soft with the shingles, do I need to have someone out? The rest looks awesome and some corners are peeking back. I would say yes. If your shingles themselves are actually starting to curl back, that is probably around the time that you want to have someone look at your roof and determine whether or not it needs to be replaced.
Yeah, and that's something that I would not have known had it not been for my husband teaching me. We went for a walk the other day and we looked at this house with a beautiful roof and he goes, that's a new roof. And I was like, oh yeah, that looks really sharp. And then we kept walking and we live in an older neighborhood and there was a house that didn't have a nice roof. It was old, so it had started folding up at the ends. And I could actually, when you pay attention, you can see a big difference in the quality and even like the debris at the end of the house, when the rain hits it or the snow hits it, you can actually see parts of your shingles on the ground. So not a good sign.
Yeah, not a good sign. Yeah. If you see your shingles curling, if you see all the granules washing away, it's probably time to put on a good quality shingle on that roof. Have you ever put a Murphy bed in a home? So Kimberly, no, personally I haven't. I've wanted to on a couple jobs, but it's never worked out. So a Murphy bed, for anyone who's watching and doesn't understand what that is, have you ever seen Coneheads? I think in Coneheads there was a Murphy bed. So it's like that bed that folds up. It's essentially, so think about if there's a wall of cabinets. Okay. And then the bed is on the ground like this and it folds up and it just looks like a wall of cabinets. So it's
like in smaller apartments.
Yeah.
You have the multi. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've never done one.
Oh, okay.
Coneheads is a great movie. That's the moral of the story.
You don't know. Hi from Texas. Hi, Virginia.
Hey, Virginia.
Thanks for tuning in. You probably have great weather. Nice and hot and sunny.
So we want to know what everyone else is working on. So ask us questions here, or you can write us on our Instagram, Mike Holmes Jr. and lisa.marie.holmes.
Send us in your questions because this is my first time having a pergola in my life. So if you have any tips even, we're happy.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time to get those projects done around the house.
All the outdoor garden, landscaping.
It's starting to warm up, so get outside. Keith asks, would you recommend adding solar energy to a current home? Anytime you are able to add renewable energy, in my mind, I would say yes. Yeah, but you'll need to make sure with an engineer that your roof load can hold the panels. You'll need to have an electrician come in. It is a process. But
a worthy one.
Exactly. I highly, highly recommend it for the environment, for you. Yeah.
Actually, that's one thing that I think that I haven't even told you this yet, but it's been on my mind.
Oh, another project?
Yeah, no, maybe. So, when the rain falls and we can collect it, maybe that could be water that we use to actually water our garden.
Rainwater collection barrel.
There you go. Brilliant idea. How would we do that, honey?
That we add to the project list. Okay. I know how to do it. It's on the list of priorities. Like it's midway.
Yeah. Carrie, hi from Put our cardboard on the bottom of our new raised garden bed because they put cardboard. Yeah, last week we suggested. So yes, my dad was a landscaper growing up, and so that's like what he says is better than landscape fabric is actually to prevent weeds and I guess animals from digging up and under. Putting a cardboard on the bottom of your bed, and then we're doubling down and going to be putting landscape fabric on our garden as well, just for good measure.
Yeah. Better to be safe.
I'm glad that you guys did it.
Yeah.
Let us know if you can post a photo of it and then tag us so we can see what it looks like. That would be so cool.
Yeah. Okay, so Kelly Cook asks, what wood can I use on the wall for a dartboard highlight wall? So you can use, there's lots of different woods you can use. It depends on the look you want to achieve. Pine, I know, is something that's softer. It's cheaper. A dart may go into that a little easier, but if you're not so concerned about, a hard wood for the dart to go into because you want it to look better, I love walnut. Black walnut is a beautiful, beautiful
hard,
wood.
Though.
It is hard.
It'd be hard to get a bullseye with black walnut.
Well, you put the dartboard on top of it.
Oh.
Yeah. I've seen
Clearly
people.
I don't play darts.
Yeah, it's okay. I've seen people even do around the dartboard corks, like wine corks, and they just glue it to a board, and then the darts go easily into that, and it kind of looks cool. But I would do, my favorite wood's black walnut. I would do something like that.
Stephanie says, I just missed it, but she's built a fairy garden, and that is so cute. I love
there
that.
it is.
Oh yeah, built a fairy garden around the old fountain my grandpa built.
So
That's
cool.
Nice.
Stephanie, I'd love for you to send us a picture. If you have Instagram, tag us on Instagram. Send us. That sounds beautiful.
Post it to your stories and tag us, and we'll reshare.
Yeah. Again, our Instagram is Mike Holmes Jr. and Lisa.Marie.Holmes.
Mine's a mouthful to say.
Just a few dots. I know I got it in there earlier before anyone could steal that one.
That's hilarious.
If there are any more questions, we have a little bit of time for that. Otherwise, you can reach out to us on my Facebook page.
Our social handles. Or even right here. And we'll do our best. We always, after every live, try to go through as many questions as we can and answer them to the best of our abilities. So
throw your questions up in the comments and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a nice day. Stay warm if you're, like us in blizzard land.
Yeah, and show us what you're working on.
Yeah. Take care.
See you next week.
Mwah.